You could just see that there was blood all over him, and I remember my mum just shouting, "I love you, Liam."
At this moment in time, you're under arrest on suspicion of GBH. You have to say anything, mate. I understand you mention one question subject.
What can make a man murder his friend? Could it be anger, alcohol, or jealousy? In today's video, we'll attempt to answer this chilling question by taking a look at the tragic story of Liam Gray, a young man who was murdered in cold blood by his friend. Before we continue, we post true crime cases like this regularly, so please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you like this kind of content. Thanks! Liam Gray spent most of his life in the Nottinghamshire town of Mansfield. He was only 18 years old at the time of his death, and he was known by everyone as a cheerful young man with a bright outlook on life. According to his mother, Joanne Peters, Liam could best be described as a happy-go-lucky guy, and this likable, cheerful personality
Just dancing around in the kitchen with a mop or a sweeping brush.
made his death all the more tragic. Liam lived with his grandfather, but maintained close ties with his mother and the other members of his family. He moved in with his grandfather at a point when he was dealing with some issues in his life, and the move seemed to improve his condition at the time. No matter what he was going through, Liam loved to always be there for his family, make them laugh and be happy. He also loved music. He had a best friend named Reese, and they were almost inseparable. They were always together, and they shared a brother-like bond.
Went to school together and everything. We were just a bit crazy, to be fair. Everyone would be like, "Oh, Liam and Reese together again. Get ready."
It was Reese who would introduce Liam to a young man named Jonathan Treadgold.
And we all just ended up getting on. It was kind of like, I don't know, Three Musketeers, if you want to say that.
While Liam and Reese had grown up in loving homes, Jonathan's childhood had not been the best, and he also spent time in care. This resulted in Jonathan having trouble with the law from an early age. From the moment they met, Liam seemed to care for Jonathan, and it looked like he was trying to help Jonathan solve some of his problems. He believed that by taking Jonathan under his wing and being his friend, he could perhaps help set him on the right path. With Jonathan, the inseparable duo became the inseparable trio. Liam, Reese, and Jonathan were always together, and it seemed like they had all formed a good bond among themselves. But one big news would start the countdown to a tragic end. When he was 17, Liam found out that he was going to be a father.
Wasn't he? He was dead happy. Dead happy.
Started to grow up a bit more and realised that he had to become a family man now when he had a child to look after in the future.
Naturally, his priorities changed after receiving this news. He was thrilled with the prospect of becoming a father and took the knowledge of his new responsibility seriously. He knew he had to be there for his child, and he also realized that he had to take stock of his future to ensure he could provide the best possible life for his child that was on the way. This was when he began planning a move to Birmingham. Jonathan didn't take too well to the news of Liam moving away to Birmingham, but it didn't matter, as Liam had made all the necessary plans and was ready to move and begin life as a father. Before he left, Liam decided to have a sort of send-off party with Reese and Jonathan.
We planned to go to the pub, have a few drinks before Liam left to go to his new house. He was going literally the next day, so I assumed he didn't want to have too many drinks and not wake up and have to rush around and do everything. We planned it all out. It was going to be a really good day, to be fair.
On August 1st, which was the day before he was to leave for Birmingham, Liam invited Reese and Jonathan to the house he shared with his grandfather so they could have drinks and hang out one last time before he left Mansfield. Liam, Reese and Jonathan were seen on CCTV getting drinks at a shop before heading over to Liam's house to celebrate his move. They made Snapchat videos, discussed, and had a good time. The boys had planned to visit the local pub after having a few drinks at Liam's house. Liam and Reese were 18, but Jonathan was only 17 years old. Liam suggested that Jonathan change his clothes so he could appear smarter and older and get served at the pub. Jonathan borrowed a pair of jeans from Liam, and the trio made their way to the pub. Things began to go wrong when Jonathan started making comments about his sister's boyfriend and how he was going to sort him out.
With Reese and with Liam, and Liam makes some comment that he would sort Treadgill's sister's boyfriend out.
Liam tried to reason with Jonathan and convince him that there was no need to do anything about his sister's boyfriend. For some reason, this angered Jonathan, and the issue quickly turned into a heated argument. At a point during the argument, Liam asked Jonathan to leave, given the way he was acting over what was meant to be a good-natured advice. He also told him to drop his jeans off at his grandfather's house on his way home.
And it says, "Oh, leave them jeans at Pops's."
Jonathan left the pub in anger. When he left, Liam told Jonathan how he wanted to spend this night with his friends.
Should we go and get him? Because I don't want this day ruined, do you know what I mean? We're all mates. And I said, yeah, let's go and fetch him.
Having fun and laughing. He suggested that they go after Jonathan, and Reese agreed. When they arrived at Liam's grandfather's house, Reese waited outside while Liam went inside to get Jonathan. But while he waited, Jonathan suddenly ran outside the house, saying he had killed Liam. Reese rushed into the house and was met with the chilling sight of Liam clutching tea towels to his chest in an attempt to stop the blood that was pouring out of a stab wound. Liam told Reese to phone an ambulance, which he did, before passing the phone to Liam's grandfather. What had happened was that as Liam entered the house, Jonathan jumped and stabbed him in the chest. Liam was placed in an ambulance and rushed to the hospital, but despite all the efforts made by the hospital staff,
Ambulance, is the patient breathing?
Been stabbed in the chest.
Okay, is he breathing?
Just about, yes.
Okay, is he awake?
He is, but he's still just about awake. Yes.
Liam died from his injuries. He was only 18 years old. Liam's family was devastated by the news of his death, and they wanted justice for Liam. An investigation into Liam's death had already begun, and the police were doing everything they could to find Jonathan. The police soon received a call informing them about Jonathan's whereabouts, and at 3:30 p.m. that same day, just half an hour after he stabbed Liam, Jonathan was arrested. Upon questioning, Jonathan admitted to stabbing Liam, claiming he was only trying to protect himself and that Liam was a violent bully towards him. But this was not in keeping with Liam's character and the way everyone saw him treat Jonathan. The police reviewed the CCTV footage and took witness accounts of the events that had unfolded that day as they gradually built a case against Jonathan. Jonathan was charged with the murder of Liam Gray, and his trial began in February 2020. Because he was 17 when he murdered Liam, Jonathan would not be tried as an adult. He was found guilty and sentenced to life with a minimum of 16 years. Liam was only 18 when his life was brutally cut short. He was about to become a father and was already looking forward to having a beautiful future with his child. But all of this was cut short by someone he had trusted and bonded with. No one can know for certain why Jonathan did what he did, but we can be thankful that at least a measure of justice was served for this brutal crime. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of Liam Gray, and may Liam's soul rest in peace. Why do you think Jonathan did what he did? Let us know in the comments, and as always, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to Yarrow Crime for more true crime videos.